All right, everyone. So during a recent podcast appearance, The Miz talked about the current era. So here is what he had to say. I would love to go against DIY. I think they're tremendous workers. It's one of those things. These PLEs are very different to get on because we have so many big superstars. You can look at how many people right now are, as we call it, over with the crowd. I can name probably 15. That's the most I've ever seen in my entire 20-year career. The PLEs are sold out. The live events are sold out. The merch is flying off the stands. The crowd is red hot right now. The matches have been on fire at every single PLE, and it's these storylines coming to fruition. I want to be part of SummerSlam, but I understand and get what is happening. So he talked a lot about how great this era is for WWE, and I think there's certainly a truth to that, right? The WWE has found something. I think it has a chance to get even bigger, but it certainly isn't a strong point right now. We've made this argument time and time again that this is almost, it's one of those blessings, right, for WWE, but it's a good problem to have, but they're dealing with it, which is they can't fit everybody onto these cards, right? They just can't do it. Now, the question is this the best era for WWE ever? And it's such a tough topic to debate because, first off, we have to understand that nostalgia is a factor. If you said to me right now, what era do you think is the best? There's no way I would put this era in there just because you're thinking about all the stars from the Attitude Era. You're thinking about Andre the Giant. You're thinking about the Ultimate Warrior. You're thinking about Hulk Hogan. You're thinking about all of these guys from way back in the day that are just these massive names. And I'm not sure how any of the superstars currently could surpass them, say in my eyes, right? But at the same time, I don't think that's entirely fair because there certainly is a nostalgia type component to that, right? I will say, though, that I do think that people have to understand that as good as this era is right now, it is still relying partially on stars from the past. Go back to the Attitude Era, right? The Attitude Era, man, it did not, all of the old guard went to WCW. Okay, this was a era that was built on new stars, and they competed with the old guys, and they beat them head to head, right? It says something when you have The Rock come back, and he is such a big name. When you have John Cena come back, and he is such a big name. When you have The Undertaker appear for 10 seconds in a WrestleMania event, and that's the biggest part of the night. Or Stone Cold coming back, when he came back, people wanted him to come back this WrestleMania, but when he did come back and get the kind of ovation he did, it just shows how big of names those guys really are. And it's not that the Roman Reigns or the Cody Rhodes and these guys won't be bigger, right? It's not to say that they can never surpass that or that the Bloodline storyline isn't one of the best of all time, because I think it is. I just think people really underestimate just how big time some of those stars from the Attitude Era were, right? And I think it tells you everything you need to know when you have these returns. Like, for instance, if you go back to the Attitude Era, if, Hulk Hogan showed up on WWE, would it be a big deal? If he had showed up right after WCW was done, would be a huge deal. He would have been a main eventer, there's no question. But would he have been like the top star right away? There were so many stars back then. I mean, certainly for storyline purposes, maybe that would have been the case. But Austin, The Rock, Triple H, guys like that, they were just as hot, right? They were beating them head to head. So I just think that is one thing to keep in perspective here. WWE is going through a great time. There's a chance that this thing really takes off and hits another big level. But those stars from back in the day, they were truly, one of a kind stars. And I'm not sure you will ever see a time like that again. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.